Hello. I wanted to use the opportunity to talk about my second book. The idea was to only do it this weekend, but this weekend I'm running a half marathon. And I thought I'll better try and rest as much as possible before that. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about my second book. This is my second book, which I launched officially on Sunday morning at our running club. This book is what I've started writing in the if I do an autograph for this book. I've started writing that here is the stories that's nothing like our past, and I think in a way that is what this book is to me. It is the opportunity for me to write down my story, my life as it is currently, which is nothing like what my life used to be like. There's the book is about, it's almost written like a diary. I started, it was the day of my daughter's birthday last year, and at that stage there was a big post on Cape Town Marathon site and from our coach, and they're like, now there's 100 days left to go to Cape Town Marathon. So I thought, well, this is a great opportunity to start talking about my training. And I started that day. I started on the 9th of July. I started writing about something that it was my first time ever training for a marathon. I've never done something like that before. Coming from a stage in my life where I used to, I wasn't even able to tie my shoelaces. To go from that to training for my first marathon, I find it very interesting. There's a lot of new terminology that I needed to learn and that I wasn't familiar with, and new exercises and new workouts that I didn't know what benefit they're going to give me, and it was my first time working with a coach. And this whole book is about that experience and what it was like, and how there was a time in those last, I think it was after I ran my 35 kilometers, that I didn't even like running anymore. It's like it became it is such hard work to train for a marathon that I at some stage I fell out of love with running, and I somehow had to pull myself through to get to the starting line and to finish this marathon. This book, this weekend when we did the launch, my husband joined me for the launch. He managed the card machine, and one of the stages while we were sitting and talking, my husband asked me, so for who did you write this book? Who's your target audience? Because obviously a lot of the people at the clubs already run a marathon. Okay, for them, to read a book on running your first marathon is probably not that beneficial. But there's a lot of them that's also, that's one of their goals. They want to complete a marathon. So, but think first and foremost, I wrote this book for myself. And I think if all authors are completely honest, I think most authors will agree that they actually write for themselves, because it was a nice way of documenting the memory and everything I've been through. There's a lot of things. When I did the editing for this book, there were some sections that I laughed at again and cried at, and I was like, oh, I couldn't believe I did that. So it was nice going through that again and reliving some of that memories. But I think the most important thing about writing a book is you leave a legacy. And it's one of the most beautiful legacies that you can leave. I think I leave this legacy, I leave it for my children and my husband to one day go back and read about who I am and what I've been through and what my life is like. Both my first book and my second book, I think, is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So yes, first and foremost, I wrote this book for myself. And then second, I wrote it for everyone that has a big dream and a big goal that I wish to achieve, but they're too scared, or they think they can't do it, or I wrote it for that hope that, here I am, someone who couldn't even tie her shoelaces, she couldn't bend down to reach her shoelaces at some stage, and here this woman comes and she runs her first marathon, and I hope that this book will bring hope to people who, who's maybe sitting at the end of the spectrum where I used to be, and thinking, this is impossible. It is impossible to do this, and just to tell them there's always hope. And I think the last section is the final message that I wanted to include in this book, and I'm going to find it now, and I'm going to read it. So let me see. So the last section I wrote, I'm going to read from the third last paragraph. So, okay, today, this was on race day, right? Today I ran through immense pain. I'm still sore. Even the roof of my mouth is tender, and I do not understand why that is. My cramps are still there. I dare not flex or bend my legs in any particular way. And my appetite has also not returned yet. And I'm confident I should recover if I rest and sleep sufficiently. I've witnessed today, yet again, there is a world where you'll find all the advice and encouragement you need to reach any goal. But it's up to you to go and seek it and do the work. I sat in a well of self-pity for years. Learn from my mistakes. Dare to dream big and achieve it. Impossible is nothing. That was the slogan of the Cape Town Marathon, right? It was impossible is nothing. And today I just wanted to share a little bit about this book and what it is about and why I wrote it. And it is very different. Those who've read my first book, it is quite different to my first book. But I've gotten to love writing and love running. Oh well, it took me a while to get back to that point again, because after the Cape Town Marathon, I told Jatine the other day, those who followed will know that Jatine is my coach, but I've decided to stick with Jatine after the Cape Town Marathon, and we've got a very good, I think, client-coach relationship, and I think we understand each other quite well. And one of the things that I told him, it's only now, only literally the last 2 weeks, that I can feel myself starting to love running again. And that was October last year was when I ran my marathon. So that's October, November, December, January. So almost 4 months that it took me to recover from running this marathon. And I've entered for later this year again. So I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'm not going to write a book about my second marathon running, don't worry. I'll only put you through one book. So, but let me see if there were any questions. Okay, there was a question about how much does the book cost. All the books cost the same. I've decided to make them all 340 Rand. So, and I don't charge a courier fee. If you buy from me directly, then I don't charge a courier fee. I absorb that cost. But it's on my website. There's details if you go to www.Mart-Mari-Breedt.com/writing. You'll find all the details there. And I don't think there were other questions, but that's all I can see now. Okay, but you must have a great evening, and I'll do a live video again soon. Okay, maybe not after my half marathon this weekend, but yeah. Okay, keep well. Bye.